Presenting O List You Lie, another in a series of videos exploring the mysteries of Shakespeare's First Folio. Behind the title page of Shakespeare's First Folio lies the front matter. One of the pages is the list of principal actors shown here. In order to explore the mysteries behind the list of principal actors, we will do the following. We'll use the 23-lettered Latin Gematria values. And the Latin alphabet repeated count, which I call the LARC. The page is divided up into three different sections. The first section is the top part, which is the header, and that almost mimics the title of the book itself. Below that is the list of principal actors. And the third part, which stands out, is the decorative W in front of William. Before we continue, I'm going to show you something interesting. The Gematria value of the W in William is 40, and the Gematria value of the last uppercase letter on the page is 17. This makes for an interesting /17 illusion. All these plays note the blurb just above the actors list. It says, the names of the principal actors in all these plays. All these plays mean everything. But I asked a question that I don't think anybody has asked before. Is this true? Scholars since the publication of the First Folio have assumed that all of the actors performed in the plays that were presented in the First Folio. After all, how could they doubt the front matter of the First Folio, since honest Ben Jonson was the principal author of that? Well, the question you have to ask is this. Who was alive among these actors? And when were the first plays, or when were the plays first produced, rather? Here is a chart showing players who died before 1610 and those who died between 1610 and 1620. Up top we have William Sly, who died in August 1608. In the middle is Richard Burbage, who died March 13, 1619. And in August 1619, Nathan Field passed away. Here we have the record of plays which were earliest recorded performances were from 1604 to 1620. And according to the extant records, these were plays which were never performed. When you put the two together, you get the deceased actors chart. The top 5 actors could not have performed in these 11 plays because they all died before the earliest recorded performance. William Sly, however, could have performed in Lear. He died in August 1608, and Lear was performed in Whitehall in December 1606. However, none of these 11 actors could have performed in these 6 plays, which means someone is lying. And that means if we say that Ben Jonson was the principal editor and mastermind behind the First Folio, Ben Jonson is lying. He shouldn't say the names of the principal actors in all these plays, but rather the names of the principal actors in some plays. Now we're going to present a few simple Gematria puzzles. But before we go through with that, I'm going to draw your attention to something that Alexander Woe found out in one of his videos. After the uppercase W in William, we have 17 letters. William was an early name for Troy. So the question we have is, what does that make Shakespeare? Achilles? Now we're going to do a Gematria sum of all these connected letters because they touch the uppercase W, the I, and the R. When you add them all up, you get 66. In the Latin alphabet repeated count, 66 is V, V, V. It's something we'll see over and over and over again. More to the point, 66 is the number of rows on a full page of dialogue in the text. Now we'll continue with some Gematria sums, beginning with this. All of the italic letters in the left-hand column. When you add them all up, you get 306. (306) is 17 times 18. The total of the italic uppercase letters in the right-hand column is 380. Now we add the sums to get 686. As per our rule that we subtract smaller numbers from larger numbers, we can do the following. We subtract the number of names, of which there are 52. That is, the actor has a first name and a last name, and there are 26 actors. Next, we subtract the Gematria sum of all the Roman uppercase letters in the header, spelling the names of the principal actors in all these plays. We subtract the number of Roman words in this header as well, and there are 10 of them. So you get 563. Finally, we subtract the number of columns, of which there are 2, and we get 561, which is 17 times 33. Two Gematria results are multiples of 17. When we add the multiple amounts, we get 51, which is 17 times 3. Why did I use only these numbers? Well, it's quite simple. Everything is in this box. The line between the header and the names of the principal actors is the boundary limit. They're telling us you got to make puzzles out of things up top and things down below that line. Don't mix them up. So that means we can go on to the header. As you see, it almost reproduces the title of the First Folio, but misses quite a few words. One thing that we can find is the following. We note that the two W's look broken. The left-hand W has a short arm between the two parts of the letter, and the right-hand W looks like it's bent off to the left. These letters actually occur elsewhere in the front matter of the, or actually elsewhere in the First Folio. In the title page to the Merry Wives of Windsor, in which the letters are actually reversed. The one with the bent arm is on the left, the one with the shorter arm is on the right. So let's continue with these. We can see that the uppercase W's are broken. So we can isolate those two V's and create a puzzle out of them. Now you try. Add the Gematria values of all of these uppercase letters. Don't forget, we've moved the uppercase V's down below so that they're kind of isolated from the rest of the numbers, or letters rather. The answer is hidden somewhere on the screen, and I'll give you some time to try and find it. For those who want to do the work themselves, just press pause, but in about 5 seconds, I'm going to continue. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We take that sum and we subtract the Gematria values of the italic uppercase letters in original. Don't forget there are 2 L's. You should end up with a very familiar number. Again, it's hidden somewhere on this slide. Now we present some header anomalies. The first time I looked at this header, I was struck by one thing in particular. second L in original has a dot immediately following it. But to me, it looked like it was extremely small compared to the dots on the rest of the page. Furthermore, it's extremely close to the L itself. And when I compared these dots to the one in original, all of the ones that are on the page, I found that on average, the L dot, I guess you could call it, is probably about 50% smaller than the rest of the same dots, meaning that it was intentionally made smaller. To me, that meant that we were probably asked to do counting from that dot. And so I did. There are 17 letters from directly above the dot to the end of line 3. And I asked, well, how many letters are there on the left-hand side? There are 13 of them, meaning the original was intentionally set to the left. We add these numbers and we add the Gematria values to those numbers. And we should get another multiple of 17. Next, I looked at the E and the O. The E in truly and the O in original look like they had been intentionally placed above each other in an extremely precise way. And the word true somehow connected to it. Because I saw that letter L by true as a type of natural barrier between the E and the Y. So what I did is I decided, well, let's just take those letters and isolate them. And we get this. Its shape should be very familiar to people. It's a Mason's square, and further evidence that Masons were responsible for publishing and printing the First Folio. What I did next is I looked at the letters T-R-U-E and asked myself, well, what if we create a line equal to that on the other side of the O, on to the right of the O? And so I took the bar and extended it to get this letter. Uppercase T, or tau. It's an early form of cross, and possibly an allusion to God's hand in helping write the plays. So we have true life. But the question remains, whose true life? Well, this is proper Middle English. LYFE is a way of spelling life in Middle English. What we can do is we can use the L beside the E as a pointer, and it points directly to the I in his. Therefore, we have his true life. But who is he? I believe the clue is in the E and the O. They are so precisely aligned that we can create a nice little rebus out of all of this. So the question is, whose true life? Don't miss part 2. Whose life is it anyway? Thank you for watching. Stay safe, everyone. Another wave is on its way.